Good afternoon and welcome on in to another episode of From Day One. As you can see, Dominion has changed. We'll go through some of those changes throughout the gameplay today. But for our audio backside, we have a subset in core who is going to get in some serious SHI you know what. Along with us is, of course, my good friend Mike from Law Talk with Mike.
Yeah, but doesn't he have like two cases that's a no at like 200,000?
Yeah, if she wants it to.
No, not two of them.
Isn't this the third one? Am I missing something?
One got dismissed.
Do you want to?
My bad.
You want to take this one first?
I have to. I'll let Miss Kidder go because I have to be upstairs at 9:30.
Oh, okay.
Unless
So these charges come out of a gang case. So the 539 isn't because.
this will actually go pretty quick because it's a jail incident. So
Okay.
Yeah, it should be quick. It's a
if we
jail incident.
can we take Spiller first and then that we should be done by 9:30 and then Turk you can take yours. Is that
That's
okay?
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, instead Spiller,
Spiller first, please.
World Spiller. Who's here on Spiller?
Spiller.
All right.
Is
Can you
Spiller
get him
the
to turn
player?
the volume up again? That's weird that these are why we can't control it down here.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. All right. Captain, if you raise your right hand for me, you swear a firm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. If you have a seat, state, spell your name for the court reporter for me quickly.
Good morning. My name is Captain Derek Page. That's Derrick. Last name Page, Paige.
All right. This is position 323 CP 217699 World Spiller. It's got willful obstruction by use of threats or violence and unlawful for a person employed or associated with criminal street gang activity to participate in criminal street gang activity. So.
Thank you, Judge. Captain Page, can you tell me where you're employed?
Fulton County Sheriff's Office,
And how long have you been sort of employed?
17 years.
Okay. And what does a captain at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office do?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What do you do? What do you do in your position?
I'm a watch commander as well as a gang investigator.
Okay. And in regards to gang, as a gang investigator, tell me about that. What do you do as a gang investigator?
Investigate various crimes that may be gang affiliated, identify individuals that are gang affiliated, validating them, and things of that nature like that.
Okay. And where do you do that?
Primarily the Fulton County Jail.
Okay. And how long have you worked in the Fulton County Jail?
Roughly 17 years.
Okay. And how do you go about validating somebody as a gang member?
A lot of times, sometimes we go do it by way of tattoos. Sometimes just communication with other agencies, law enforcement partners, as well as direct conversations with the inmates. 'Cause a lot of times inmates sometimes are willing to tell what their gang affiliation is.
Okay. And as part of validation, do you guys in your capacity as a gang investigator for the jail, do you keep information about the different gangs in your jail?
We do, and we also use Odyssey as well in terms of identifying them
Okay.
for separations.
Where is the jail located?
901 Wright Street.
Okay. And is that in Fulton County
That is.
in Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you know Mr. Spirell?
Mr. Spiller, yes,
I apologize, Mr. Spiller.
I've had contact with him. I do not know him personally, no.
Okay. Where have you had contact with him?
On the day of the incident, in which one of my deputies was assaulted.
Okay. What was the date of the incident?
The date was March 27, 2023.
And you said one of your deputy was assaulted. Who was the deputy that was assaulted?
His name is Deputy Quincy Coleman. He
Okay.
Deputy Quincy Coleman.
Who assaulted?
Quentin, I'm sorry, Quentin.
Who assaulted your deputy?
Mr. Spiller.
Okay. Exactly what did he do to assault your deputy?
He Deputy Coleman was in the process of performing his duties. Mr. Spiller approached him from behind and splashed him with a cup of liquid fecal matter.
Okay. And what happened? Did he say anything when he did that?
He said, "This
Ooh.
is for mob, bitch."
Okay. And what does that mean to you?
He's been identified as a Goodfella gang member, so mob is just another name for Goodfellas. And the mob could be two different things, whether it be members of blood, but however, he's identified as a Goodfella gang member.
And when was he identified as a Goodfella gang member?
I can't remember. It was around the time of the incident. It may I think it was the day of the incident, actually.
Okay. And what is the significance of this is for the mob?
I'm sorry?
What is the significance of that? How did you interpret that as a gang investigator for the jail?
Well, at the time, Mr. Coleman, Deputy Coleman was removing several known gang members, which were part of the Goodfella gang. He was removing them from the zone due to behavioral issues. And at that time, that's when Mr. Spiller did what he did. And then through talking to him, he did admit that he was GF for Goodfellas.
So you talked to Mr. Spiller?
I did.
Okay, when did you talk?
It was after the incident.
Okay, when did you talk to him?
When?
Yes.
It was maybe an hour or so after the incident. He was taken down to medical because once he had attacked Deputy Coleman, of course, use of force was done, so he had to be taken to medical to be seen by a PA or a nurse practitioner, whoever was working at the time.
Okay.
So I talked to him when he was down to medical.
And what information did you gather from him when you talked to him?
Well, while I was talking to him, he just made a comment to me. He's tired of Deputy Coleman and they're effing with them.
Okay. And then how did he identify himself as a good fellow?
Yes. How did he? When talking to him, I said, well, he did not deny. But I said, you did that for the mob, didn't you? And he said, that's when he meant. That's when he made the comment. We were tired of Deputy Coleman messing with us. So with that, saying that right there, I associated him with being a Goodfella gang member.
Are you familiar with the Goodfellas in the jail?
Yes, I am.
Okay, tell me about the Goodfellas in the jail.
Initially, it's probably not just Fulton County, but in the Georgia Department of Corrections, probably one of the most violent gangs in terms of criminal street gangs and jail gangs. Initially, they started off as 30 Deep, which was based out of Mechanicsville, and several gang members who are now serving prison time kind of switched the name over to Goodfellas. And they started calling themselves mob. And this happened probably about like in 2013 or so. So for the past 10 years, they have probably been one of the most violent gangs that we have in our custody right now.
Okay. And so are you familiar with them in your jail?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And what kind of things do the Goodfellas do in your jail?
Robbery, extortion, stabbings.
And is this common if they're doing this for the mob to throw fecal matter at one of your deputies?
No, it's not.
And are you do you see Mr. Spiller in court today?
I do.
Would you please point to him, tell me what he's wearing and where he's seated, please?
He's sitting to my left, in which he's sitting beside his attorney. He has on a blue Fulton County uniform.
You want to let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
All right, noted.
And Mr. Spiller, sorry, Captain Page, for the Goodfellas mob, after he identified himself, is there anything he said he's been validated? How did you validate Mr. Spiller as a Goodfella member?
I did.
How did you validate him?
Just through the conversation, when I mentioned that you did that for the mob, and that's when he made the comment saying that I'm tired of him and coming in there and messing with us, because at that time, that's when Deputy Coleman was removing several mob gang members out of the zone. So that was more of a retaliation for him dealing with his fellow gang members.
Okay. And well, that begs the question, how does throwing fecal matter at your deputy further the gang in the jail? How does he help the gang in the jail?
Sometimes it could be an intimidation factor. That it could be used as a means of
Oh, what judge?
what you do to us, we're gonna come back and do to you.
And did you have any further contact with Mr. Spiller after that?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I had to switch up because there's only one attorney who can handle the situation. That's right. It's the fly lawyer. I'm not the fly lawyer, but I do have a fresh new fly lawyer outfit, which is perfect for this scenario.
Mikey, really? You
Let's
got a
carry
fly
on,
guy
shall we?
lawyer?
Did you actually see the fecal matter, or did you get that from Deputy Coleman?
I saw the fecal matter. I also watched the video on a visual line camera system. And when I reported to Deputy Coleman at the immediately after the incident, the smell, the stuff was still on his clothes. We had to give him new clothes to put on at the time because, of course, he can't walk around with fecal matter on him.
The people who are responsible for this know it. I'm not gonna say who, but Iris and Andrea may have been involved. Also, Food Fairy.
I don't believe I have any other questions, Judge.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Houston.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Just a few questions for you. Did you look into the allegations of Deputy Coleman messing with Mr. Spiller? I think those were your words.
No, Deputy Coleman was doing his job that day.
Okay. And you said it's not common for Goodfellas to have behavior such as throwing fecal matter, correct?
Not necessarily on officers. A lot of times Goodfellas gang members tend to be at war with blood gang members, but for an officer to get attacked, that's not common.
That's not common behavior,
That's
correct?
not common behavior.
Okay. And you said this was liquid fecal matter?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And it was in a cup?
It was.
Okay. And you watched this video?
I did.
About how much time span is the video?
Look at the prosecutor, bottom center. Just her expressions are the same as mine. She's like, oh.
Roughly about three or so minutes or so, possibly.
Okay. And you were able to see everything very clearly, the whole encounter?
I was.
Were there any other individuals around?
No, other inmates kind of moved out the way, but he was in a zone that housed close to 40 inmates. So yes, it was probably 38 other inmates in the vicinity.
Were there other deputies present when this happened?
When the help call went out, yes.
Okay. So Deputy Coleman is moving inmates alone at this time,
At
correct?
the time, yes.
Okay. And I think you said that my client had to go to medical after this was done, correct?
Yes, he did.
What action was taken against him?
He was taken down to the ground.
By whom?
By Deputy Coleman.
Okay. And he had some injuries from that?
I think he had a busted nose or a busted lip.
Okay. And then he went to medical and then came back to the same zone?
Now, actually, they went to medical and then after the report was generated, he was placed on lockdown.
Okay. How long was he placed on lockdown
I
for?
do not know.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, anything else from the state?
You're on mute. She's on mute. I apologize. No, Judge.
Okay,
I apologize for the delay, Judge. I was thoroughly disgusted. Took me a second.
thank you, Captain, you can be excused. Stay
Thank you,
safe
Your
out there. All right, go ahead with the argument.
Your Honor, I believe that the facts pretty much speak for itself. The defendant identified himself as a mob member. He was upset because
The facts do, in fact, speak for themselves. I agree wholeheartedly.
he believed that Mr. Deputy Coleman was messing with the mob, and he threw fecal matter at him. The Captain Page told you it smelled. He had to change his uniform, and he did it, as Deputy Coleman said, for intimidation tactics. You mess with us, we're the mob, we mess with you. And he also said how very uncommon it was. They usually fight, the gang members fight amongst each other, and it's really rare for them to fight to attack a deputy. And this is what the defendant did. I believe the state has made probable cause, and we ask that you bind him over.
Ms. Eustace?
Your Honor, we submit on the evidence.
All right, I'll find probable cause on both counts, the obstruction and the gang activity. Looks like bond was addressed on 7/20, and it was 130,000. You want to just address it again quickly?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead, Bostic.
In regards to Spiller, open case 22 CP 207113, assault, robbery, firearm by criminal damage, firearm during criminal trespass, multi-state offender, Kansas, North Carolina, Missouri, 1 in Missouri, 7 in Kansas, 3 in North Carolina. In Kansas, he have controlled substance, criminal damage to property, North Carolina, assault with a deadly weapon, serious injury. In Georgia, he have a felony theft by shoplifting and in probation violation, nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Eustace.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, I'll put this other.
All right, someone says there's a soft sit in Taylor. What judge is that? Somebody send me the link. Put it in Discord or IG.
As you heard, my client does have a little bit of history. He has been in custody for 530 days as of the printing of his calendar. We would be asking for a reasonable bond reduction. He's been in Georgia for 3 years. He can live with his mother if you would need that. She does live in North Carolina, so if he wanted to stay out of the state of Georgia and less report, he would be able to do that. Otherwise, he will be able to stay here. He did receive his GED and was gainfully employed for about 1 year at Five Guys before being taken into custody. He's always been able to get gainful employment and will be able to do so within 1 month of being released because he is a hard worker. As you heard, again, he's been in custody for a significant amount of time, so we'd be asking for a reasonable reduction to $10,000 total.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Oakham.
Your Honor, I would just ask that the bond remain the same. I know this is a jail incident, but the fact is that he's a multi-state offender. I think he's being held on other gang charges. I might have been the one that did it. I don't remember. And then he did this in jail as well, claiming to be a gang member as well. I would just ask that the bond remain the same, Judge.
All right.
And just for clarification, this is the only gang-related case that he has. He did have another one, it was dismissed by the courts. So.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
It
So,
wasn't me that did it. I apologize.
no, that's okay. All right. No further contact with Deputy Q Coleman unless it's in his official capacity. All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no social media, no replicas of weapons, no further contact with any gang members or affiliates of any gangs, and anyone from Goodfellas. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, and the exact location you'll be working. Now, if he stays here, he's going to stay in Fulton County?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the ankle monitor will be paid for by the county. If any hold pops up, sir, I don't know if something could pop up. You have 48 hours to have that ankle monitor placed on your ankle. And I think you have to call the ankle monitoring company is what you have to do. Okay. So I would 25 and 90, 25,000 and 90,000. Best of luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, that concludes my matter. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too, Judge.
All right. All right. And I just sent Judge Whitaker that you'd be on the way.
Thank you, Judge. And
Okay.
may I excuse the
Yes.
return for the other pre-lit?
Yes, ma'am.
Covered Mr. Nelson Rose as well.
All right. So now we need Carrie Jones. Which one of you are here on Carrie Jones? Uh-huh.
See, they have made it from ACDC.
Oh, okay. So you don't know if Syria.
Worked out, an agreement.
No, for Jones?
I'm
So they
sorry,
actually-
Judge. I apologize. Were you speaking to me before I logged off? I didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, she said they have an agreement with Ms. Kennebrew's case.
Okay, thank you. I thought
Yes.
you were in the process of talking to me and I was already off, so I logged back in. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, no, it's on another case. Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Yes, Your Honor. We're gonna wait till her client.
Yeah, they're checking to see if, because right now it has a $2,000 split bond on that one.
Judge, unfortunately, they haven't made it yet.
Oh, okay.
I do apologize.
No, it's.
All right. I think I've located this.
No, that's okay. If they work something out, she may go ahead and do it.
There's a little bit more of this. Then I have a nice pellet cleanser. Then I think we'll move on to the sovereign citizen. I can't take myself seriously in this hat. I just can't. But I finally have a bow tie to go with my guys when the soft sit comes up.
Are you at work, officer? Oh, yeah, we did talk about
No, you worked last night?
it. Yes, he worked last night.
Oh, okay. Well, if they're gonna work, y'all did work. Oh, how long is Miss Eustace gonna be? Do you know?
I don't know. Just want to grab her?
Yeah, just ask her how long, because this officer worked overnight. Hey, will you grab Miss Eustace? I'm just curious if it's like a long hearing or,
Now I look like I'm going to play some roulette.
sorry, I forgot to ask that this morning before we started. She didn't know if they're here from ACDC yet, Miss Kennebrew. Did y'all work out a consent?
We did, so, on the record, the state has agreed to drop the charges from entering auto to criminal trespass. So we'll make it all misdemeanors and agree to a use.
All right. You know, is yours gonna be a really long hearing? Do you know?
It's two quick presiding bond matters, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
I imagine no more than 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I was
There's
just,
only 3 total cases.
oh, okay, okay, so you gonna be good for 30 minutes? Okay.
I will go as quickly as possible.
Now, he just worked overnight, so I was just checking. Thank you, Miss Eustace. I know, I'm sorry.
I will try to be very fast, Your Honor. If she has another calendar in conjunction with it, I can ask to come back down.
Okay.
I'm just not sure if we're going calendar.
I got you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So he can leave, right?
Yes.
All right, so you can leave on the Kerry Jones case, yes, sir. All right, you stay safe getting home.
Do you need me to sign something?
I didn't have time to go through this.
Thank you for coming and showing up. Yeah. Yeah. You don't need me to sign anything?
All right, nothing's going on here. Let me see.
And supply the jail with an address. Stay away.
07.
Where's she gonna live?
Okay,
And if you look, that's on the 8-4 bottom
I've got a nice,
Oh, it's my
super
bond
innocent, sweet one.
on that one before.
Because I hadn't seen
You
this
got lucky because on the other one, it's my
clip,
bond
but
too.
I thought we'd need a palate cleanser. And
For
here
the
it
court
is.
this morning is the case entitled Amanda Hool versus Jason Hool, case number 23 AP 078.
This is just all kinds of innocent and charming, honestly.
Appellant James Hool is self-represented and has not appeared. Appellee Amanda Hool is self-represented and is appearing by WebEx.
Well, Ms. Hool, can you hear me?
Yes.
And we can hear you. Is there anything you want to say?
Do I need to speak my argument or
Yeah.
just
Do I need to speak my argument? Yeah, we're here for oral argument. That's how that works. It's charming. They try to make her feel good.
Can I just tell one quick war story? The first time I went to the Second Circuit, the appellant was a lawyer from New York, and he didn't show, and the Chief Justice from the Second Circuit said, "Is there anything you want to say?" And I said, "Well, I've come all this way. I'd like to say something." And so that's I use that as my standard here. So like.
if I don't need to say anything, I don't want to say anything, but I have prepared my argument.
Well, please go ahead. I think you certainly have made an effort, so we would like to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So I'm reading it. Is that okay?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good Lord. I mean, it's horrible by legal standards, but it's very sweet.
All right, Mikey, with that, I'm going to put you on hold for just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and call the afternoon good here from day one. We'll see everybody tonight where we'll pick it up.